Hi, it's Lenneke from Len's Crafty Life, and I wanted to take you along on this journey of making a card from a little cross-stitch work that I did. My parents will be, tomorrow they will have their 55 anniversary, so 55 years of being married, so which is absolutely wonderful. And I want to make a card out of this little cross-stitch. My mum loves roses, so these are little buds, and you may have seen it's from one of the books that I picked up beginning of this year at a handwork fair. I got loads of cross stitch books and I finally made one. So what I am doing now is basically I think I got all my stuff together. So I got my cross stitch work, which I need to cut out. I got a little piece of wadding to make it pop, so that goes beneath it, and I have to cut it out in a circle. I'm trying to find a nice frame to make the card. I want to make a card out of this. This is very soft pink linen cardstock, so it's got a linen structure. I think I'll use this die cut because it goes, I'll just disregard the middle piece, but it goes over it perfectly. So I want to make like a white frame. Doesn't stand out that much, does it, on the soft pink? Maybe I should have a different colored background. Maybe a brighter pink. Let me just have a look if I have some brighter pink. That may be nicer if I do a white frame. I'll be back. Okay, I found my other cardstock. This is also linen structure, and this is kind of like a second-hand piece that I could use just to make like a layer on a white card. So, but I've got this as well. What shall I do? What shall I do? This kind of pops, doesn't it? So maybe that's what I'll use. So then I think what I'll do is I'll make a white background card. So this one can go. I need to get some white cardstock then. Then I pop like a square layer of this on top of that. And then I think I'll use this frame again in white to make it pop like a white circle around it. I think that will do. There's no white in here. Okay, I'll get that later, the white part. Okay, so because this one is a bit too small, it does have a layer structure, so I can make like the little frame out of it, but it's too small to use this as the background card. So I need to, don't need purple, do I? So I need to get a larger piece of white. And I was just going through this basket. It has all sorts of frames. I've got it. I've got 3D frames in here. I've got heart frames. I got oval frames. I got round frames. So I'm just going through my round frames or circular frames. But I think this will probably be the nicest. I mean, you could use something like this, but then you have to, which would look really nice, but then the cross stitch, you cannot, it needs to stick on top, and that doesn't cut really well. So that's why I don't want this. I want something that I can make also an opening in the base card. So then I'll stick my cross stitch behind it, some wadding behind it, put an extra piece of paper below it. I think I'll use that more than this. Yeah, okay. So let's put that aside. Then basically I do need my white cardstock now. Well, let me first cut out this piece. Now this one I'm not going to cut out in a circle because it goes behind the card. So I need some space around it to stick it actually on the back of the card, and I will use some tape. I have some of this tape, it's quite strong, that I'll use for that. So I'll cut a square of this. Doesn't really matter if you cut it out with straight scissors or these. This is made on, if you know cross stitch, this is made on Aida, so it doesn't really fray that much. So then, let me see. I do now need my white paper. Okay, just a sec. Okay, I got my, this is like a block of cardstock, luxury cardstock with linen texture that I got. This is actually an A4 size. I got this one if you live in Germany or Belgium or the Netherlands where I live. You can buy it at Action, the shop Action, but this all has like this beautiful linen structure. Now this one comes in 2 colors, the cream and the white. So I'll take a piece of white out of here to make the card, and I'll take another piece to make the little pretty frame. So now I have to put this aside. I will get my cutting board. I got my, okay, let me quickly grab my cutting board. Okay, now this one is very handy. It goes here in inches and it has some centimeters on there as well. They are hardly visible, but there are centimeters on there, so I just have to kind of measure how tall I want the card to be. I'll do it in inches because this little circle is exactly 2 inches. So for now, 2 inches is about 5 centimeters. Normally I go in centimeters, but since this is a perfect size, 5 inch, totally circular by 5 inch. So I want my card to be equally long and wide. Maybe, yeah, I'll do it 6 by 6 inch. So now I tend to not use this anymore. I've got a lot of different cutting boards, and all these knives, they go blunt so quickly, so I've basically stopped using the cutters. All I do now, so I'll go here to the 6 inch, is just take my craft knife and cut it. So I hope that works. So this one goes out of the way, all the way to the bottom. Get my craft knife, and then you can still, there's like this ridge in here, so I should be okay. I hope I'm okay. I'm using the ridge. There you go. Just the last little bit I have to do. Probably can't see the last little bit. I have to do by hand. Okay. And that goes. And then it was 6 by 6. Of course, you fold it double, so this needs to be 12. Hope it's long enough. It's not long enough. Oh dear, it's not long enough. Now, because this is A4 size, I do have a larger piece of paper. Maybe I will get that, because I don't want it to be unequal, or I just need to make it a little bit smaller. I could make it, if I make it 5.5 or 5.5, it's probably big enough. Okay, let's do that, as long as it's square. So 5.5 inch. Oh, I need to pop this. I could basically take it out, couldn't I, if I'm not using it? Okay, well, anyway, I'll do it like this. So for now, I just need to pop this up. Let's do the last little bit. Okay, 5.5. So 5.5 times 2, because I'm gonna fold the card, is 11. Here is 11 inches. Yep. Have to make sure it lines up. So that we need it to be square. Let's put this cutter down here. Okay, there you go. Now you could just fold it, but just because I have it, I'll use my scoring board. Now this one is in centimeters, which is not helpful. So since I do have one in inches, but it's on the other side of the room, so what I do now is I'll just use this corner to fold it, and then I'll get an equal nice crease as well at 5.5 inches. Use my bone folder to fold that, and there you have it. So then I'll get my cutting board again, because now I want to cut out this card that I'll do on the top. So I want it a little bit smaller on all the sides, so I don't particularly need to measure this. I just want a little bit, like a 1/4 inch on all the sides, like 1/2 centimeter or a bit less. So I'll just measure it like so, and then I'll make it straight. Pop it here. My cutting knife. What did I do with my cutting knife? Okay, got it here. Put it right where it should be. Okay. That goes. And then here it is at the bottom. So I'll line that up with the groove. And there you have your little square. So this should go on the front of the card. Let's make this the front. Does it matter? Oh, it's a little bit of a stain here, so don't know why. I'll pop it like so. Maybe I can clean it up a little bit here. And yeah, so that will look nice. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll make an aperture in this card. It should be exactly bang in the middle, because behind this I'll do my cross stitch. So I do have to measure this because I do want it to be exactly in the middle. So this circle is about, well, just short of 2.5 inch. Maybe the centimeters will measure better. So I use centimeters now. 6 centimeters. And the pink card is 13. So halfway through is 7.5. Let's put a little, no, 6.5, sorry, 6.5. Put a little dot there because I really want it to be in the middle. Now obviously it's not in the middle, but I follow the line and then do it at 6.5. So that is the middle of the card. Get that out of the way. And now this I need to kind of measure that it's exactly in the middle, and then I'll tape it to the card. So that should be at 3. Ooh, it almost is. Almost. Yep, that will do. Yeah, that will do. Okay, I'll take some low-tech tape, which is this. Now, you do need to be careful that you put it on the right side. I want it to have a sharp crease downward, so the linen structure is already at the top. So move it. Don't move it. Yeah, that's about right. So I'll pop a little bit here. Now I'll do most of my tape on the inside because that's what you're going to cut out. So this is very low tack, so it should not damage the card. But even so, I pop most of it on the inside that I'm not gonna use. I'll use it for a different project, so I'll keep it. So that's stuck on there. Now I do have my Big Shot handy. Hope I'm not gonna move. Oh, here I got little pieces as well of the low-tech tape. It's a different color, but still low-tech. No, I think it's okay. I'm not moving the table too much, I think. So I got the sandwich. Well, this is a second-hand Big Shot, so I got an extra sandwich. I got the big plate. I got this in-between kind of thingy, the Solo thin die adapter. I got this one, number 1. I got some extra very thin cardboard myself and one plate because it usually needs the extra layer of the thin cardboard. Pop that in here. Do the other one on top. And then it should go through and give me a perfect... Oh, you do need to take care that that it's all straight in, otherwise it won't work. I had it not lined up here. Do make sure you line it all up so it goes through. And it should go through once, just to be sure. I pop it back and then I'll take it out. And it should give me a nice circle. Let's see if it got it. Yeah, perfectly. So let's take it off. I think it even got, you see, this is very light, very low tech. So I've got a great circle. Put that aside. Put this aside for later. So now I can kind of show you. You get the idea. Ta-da! That's great. That's perfect size. Now I can pop that behind it already, which I think I will do. So I'll use some of this tape. And I'll pop it on the front because the front needs to stick to the back of this card. You do need to make sure you have enough space. I should be okay here. I need to pop it a little bit lower, just to make sure I have a little bit of white all the way around my work. And the last bit. It doesn't really have to be neat and tidy. Like, I know this part is wonky. Now, if it irritates you, you can put it straight. It irritates me. Okay, it irritates me. Oh, I got off the top. I can't put it straight anymore, but it doesn't matter that it isn't straight. So now I'm just taking off the top. I hope you can see maybe the shine of the, yeah, there you go. You see that the sticky stuff is still on there. It doesn't need to be straight, that's what I was gonna say, because it's going behind the pin card anyway. So all you need to take care of now, and of course it is for any kind of image that you want to frame. It doesn't need to be a cross stitch bit, but that you have enough, like a little bit of a white frame around it if that's what you want. So this, I'm just eyeballing this. Now this tape does mean that once it's stuck, I cannot move it. It needs to be straight. Of course you can measure this if you want to, but I'm not going to. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's pretty already, I like it. So what I'm gonna do now is cut this to size, because I just want it below the cross stitch. I use my fabric scissors, just eyeball it a bit. Hope I'm not making it too small. I think that should kind of do. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. And again, of course, you can measure this, or maybe even use a circle cutter for this. This will go through your big shot too. I'll pop a little bit of, actually I won't. I thought I was going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on here, but I don't, because I'm not sure if my tape is acid-free, nor do I know if this card is acid-free. Acid-free is better. So I'll just leave it. What I could do is pop a bit of tape here in the middle, because this will go on the top. So I will use a bit, that's what I'll do. That's what I will do. I'll pop a little bit of double-sided tape, just to keep it in the middle. Let's use my bone folder to make it stick. Well, by the way, if you can't do this with your nail, with me it always works with my nail, but then you can always use a bit of a pin, like from a clothespin or something. Now I'll just eyeball this, that the material is in the middle. I think it is now. Then I will use a little bit of foam on the side. Foam. I think I use this. These are little squares, but it's on. Since normally I'd put the foam all just in the corners, but since now you can see that I've got this below it, maybe I will pop it all the way from left to right. And I've got enough anyway. If you see this big roll, got that at some kind of a craft fair, and it was on sale. So they're actually tiny little squares, and of course you can use it like this too, one big piece. Because I think I've got another one of these rolls, so I don't mind using a bit more, otherwise I'll never finish it. If you got stuff, you need to use it. Okay, maybe I will do another layer, I'm not sure. Let's get the top layer off. I always like it when cards are a little bit 3D, that it's standing out. It just gives a little bit of an extra dimension. Oh, already had that. Got 4 there. Maybe I will pop another layer on there, make it pop just a little bit more. It sticks really well, sticking to my nails. All right, so that's the second layer. Okay, and then we're just gonna pop this. Now do make sure that the opening's to the right side, and then we're gonna pop this, just eyeball it on there, and then there you have like the base of your card. So I'll make a part 2, and then we'll do the frame and we'll do something extra on the inside. See you there.